When life breaks you down, it's not the storms outside that destroy you, it's the chaos inside. Pain, betrayal, failure, everyone faces them, but the difference between the weak and the powerful is simple: control. The ones who fall are slaves to impulse, but the ones who rise, who dominate, are masters of their own mouth, mood, money, and mind. If you let your mouth run without discipline, you'll spit venom, destroy relationships, and burn bridges you might one day need. If you let your mood control you, every setback will feel like the end of the world, and your emotions will drag you like a dog on a chain. If you waste money chasing pleasures, you'll never escape the trap of survival. And if your mind isn't under your command, then someone else will own it, program it, and profit from it while you suffer. This life rewards those who stand firm, who tame the chaos within, who rise above impulses, and who sharpen their focus until it cuts through all weakness. Control isn't just power, it's freedom, it's destiny, it's the only way you win. Control your mouth, because words have power beyond imagination. Every empire that has ever risen was spoken into existence, and every empire that has fallen was destroyed by a reckless tongue. People underestimate the weight of their own voice. They think talking is harmless, they think words disappear into the air, but words are seeds. You plant them in the minds of others, and those seeds grow into loyalty, trust, respect, or they grow into resentment, anger, and war. If you cannot control your mouth, you cannot control your destiny. Words can inspire an army, or they can divide a family. Words can attract opportunity, or they can shut every door in your face. Your mouth can be the weapon that slays your future, or the tool that builds it brick by brick. That's why you must train your speech with the same discipline you train your body and mind. When you speak, speak with intention. Do not spit anger because you're emotional in the moment. Do not run your mouth just to prove you're right. Do not gossip, complain, or whine, because every time you do, you poison your own spirit. A man who complains constantly is advertising his weakness. A person who gossips constantly is exposing their disloyalty. A woman who speaks without control is showing she lacks composure. Powerful. If you want people to take you seriously, if you want the world to respect you, then your words must be rare, sharp, and purposeful. The less you say, the more powerful your voice becomes when you finally choose to speak. Silence makes your words valuable. Discipline makes them unforgettable. But control doesn't mean silence forever. It means learning when to speak, how to speak, and why you are speaking. If someone disrespects you, you don't need to scream or curse. You speak with strength and calmness that cuts deeper than any insult. If you're negotiating, you don't need to oversell yourself. Your controlled words make others lean in, desperate to hear more. If you're leading, you don't need endless speeches. You speak with fire and your people move. Control of the mouth is control of power, because the world is moved by words. Speeches start revolutions. Promises create nations. Lies destroy kingdoms. Truths heal generations. That's how serious words are. Think about it. Most people lose relationships not because of betrayal or violence, but because of careless words. Friendships end over an insult said in anger. Marriages collapse over constant negativity. Business deals die because someone couldn't shut up at the right moment. One sentence spoken without thought can erase years of respect. One moment of anger shouted into the air can leave scars that never heal. If you don't control your mouth, you are gambling your life's work every single time you open it. That is the danger of undisciplined speech. On the other hand, controlled speech builds empires. A man who speaks with wisdom becomes a leader others want to follow. A person who chooses uplifting words becomes someone others want to keep close. Words can inspire trust, create allies, and turn strangers into lifelong supporters. With the right words, you can calm storms, heal wounds, and spark motivation in the darkest souls. Think about the times you've heard a single sentence that changed your life. It could have been a teacher telling you to believe in yourself, a mentor giving you guidance, or even a stranger saying something that woke up a fire inside you. That's the power you hold every time you open your mouth. You want success, discipline your language. Replace complaints with gratitude. Replace excuses with solutions. Replace gossip with silence. Replace anger with composure. Replace doubt with conviction. When you train your tongue to speak only what is useful, powerful, and intentional, people will start listening to you differently. They will see you as someone of value, someone they can respect, someone they cannot ignore. And the truth is, opportunities flow towards people who know how to communicate with clarity and strength. Doors open for those whose words carry weight. Understand this, discipline is not about suppression, it's about mastery. Mastery of your mouth means mastery of influence. Influence is the currency of power. If you can move people with your words, you can lead them, inspire them, and align them with your vision. But if your mouth is out of control, if you are reckless, impulsive, and careless with your speech, then you will never rise. You will forever remain trapped in the chaos of your own making. So I tell you, control your mouth. Think before you speak. Ask yourself, will these words build or destroy? Will they elevate or weaken? Will they open doors or shut them? If your words don't serve your future, don't say them. Train yourself to pause, to hold back, to measure every sound you release into the world. That pause is not weakness, it's power. That silence is not fear, it's wisdom. That restraint is the foundation of greatness. That restraint is the foundation of greatness. The world is full of noise. Everyone is talking, everyone is shouting, everyone is desperate to be heard. But the rare ones, the disciplined ones, the controlled ones, they don't waste words. They wait, they sharpen, and when they speak, the world listens. Control your mouth, and you will discover that respect, trust, and influence are not taken, they are earned. Control your mouth, and you will never have to chase power again, because power will chase you. Control your mood, because emotions are the strongest force inside you, and if you don't master them, they will master you. Life will always test you. People will betray you. Plans will collapse. Storms will come without warning. You can't control the world, but you can control the way you respond to it. That response is everything. When your mood controls you, you become a slave to the smallest triggers. One insult ruins your whole day. One failure makes you give up. One moment of frustration leads to a lifetime of regret. But when you control your mood, nothing can break you. You become unshakable. You become the calm in the storm. You become untouchable. Think about how many lives have been ruined because someone couldn't control their temper. A man loses his job because he explodes in anger. A woman destroys her relationship because she lashes out in jealousy. A leader loses respect because he breaks down in public. Emotions are natural, but when they dictate your actions, you are no longer in charge. You are a prisoner. You must reverse that. You must turn your emotions into servants, not masters. Anger can be fuel, but only when controlled. Fear can be protection, but only when guided. Sadness can be reflection, but only when balanced. Every emotion has a purpose, but they are tools, not chains. Control of your mood doesn't mean becoming cold or emotionless. It means being powerful enough to decide what to feel and how to express it. You can feel anger without exploding. You can feel fear without freezing. You can feel sadness without drowning in it. Imagine walking into chaos and staying calm while everyone else panics. That's real power. Imagine being insulted and smiling because you know their words can't touch your spirit. That's strength. Imagine losing everything and still standing tall because your mood refuses to be broken. That's mastery. The truth is, the world respects emotional control because it's rare. Most people live like puppets. Someone pulls their string, they dance. Someone insults them, they fight. Someone ignores them, they cry. Their moods swing like a broken compass, pointing in every direction. But the ones who rise, the ones who dominate, they keep their mood locked, under command. They wake up tired, but they push anyway. They feel pressure, but they stay composed. They face setbacks, but they carry themselves with dignity. That is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. If you can control your mood, you can control your decisions. If you control your decisions, you control your habits. If you control your habits, you control your destiny. Everything in life flows from the state of mind you allow yourself to live in. Bad mood, bad choices. Bad choices, bad life. But if you discipline your emotions, if you force yourself to rise above, you create a shield that nothing can penetrate. People will notice, they will test you with disrespect, with failure, with temptation. But when you don't break, when you don't react like everyone else, you gain their respect, even their fear. Consider the fighter who controls his mood in the ring. He doesn't get reckless when hit. He doesn't lose focus when the crowd screams. He stays cold, precise, calculated, and that's why he wins. Consider the business leader who controls his mood in negotiations. He doesn't show desperation. He doesn't beg. He doesn't argue. He stays calm, and calmness forces the other side to break. Consider the parent who controls their mood with their children. They don't scream in frustration. They guide with patience, and their children grow strong instead of broken. Everywhere in life, mood control is the difference between building and destroying. You must train your emotions like a muscle. Start by refusing to react instantly. Someone disrespects you, breathe. Don't let their weakness drag you down. Something goes wrong, focus. Don't let one setback define your entire day. You feel unmotivated, move anyway. Discipline is doing what must be done regardless of mood. Your feelings do not decide your future, your actions do. And the strongest actions are born when emotions are tamed, not when they run wild. Control also means refusing to let happiness depend on outside forces. Most people are miserable because their mood is controlled by things they can't control. Traffic ruins their day. A stranger's words crush their spirit. The weather decides their energy. That is slavery. Freedom is being in charge of your mood no matter what happens outside. You must be able to wake up on the worst day of your life and still say, I run my emotions. They don't run me. That is real power. When you control your mood, you gain stability. Stability builds trust. People know they can rely on you because you don't break under pressure. They know you're consistent, unshaken, dependable. That trust turns into leadership, and leadership turns into influence. Everyone wants someone around them who doesn't lose their head when things go wrong. Be that person and opportunities will chase you. Remember this, emotions are not enemies, they are wild horses. Untamed, they throw you off and drag you into the dirt. Tamed, they carry you farther than you ever thought possible. Anger, when controlled, gives strength. Fear, when controlled, sharpens awareness. Love, when controlled, builds empires. But all of them, uncontrolled, destroy lives. So never let your mood enslave you. Never let the world dictate how you feel. Choose your state. Choose your response. Choose your strength. When the storm comes, don't cry, stand. When life cuts you, don't collapse, fight. When people doubt you, don't sink. Rise, control your mood, and the world cannot touch you. Control your mood, and you will own not just your emotions, but your entire destiny. Control your money, because discipline creates wealth, but waste creates chains. Money is not just paper, not just numbers on a screen. It is freedom, it is security, it is leverage. Without control, money becomes your master and you become its slave. The world is filled with people who work endlessly, yet they stay broke because they don't understand this one truth. It's not how much you earn that matters, it's how much you keep and how you use it. A fool can win the lottery and be bankrupt in a year. A disciplined man with average income can build wealth that lasts generations. Control, not chance, decides your financial destiny. Most people are trapped in a cycle because they worship pleasure more than discipline. They chase instant gratification, fancy clothes, expensive nights out, gadgets they don't need, cars they can't afford. Every purchase makes them feel powerful for a moment, but that moment fades, and the chains of debt tighten around their necks. They trade long-term freedom for short-term thrills. They build prisons with their own hands and call it enjoying life. But enjoyment without control is self-destruction. Money spent recklessly is not joy. It's weakness disguised as luxury. Discipline with money is the ultimate test of self-control. When you see something shiny and resist, you're not denying yourself, you're investing in your future. When you choose to save instead of splurge, you're not boring, you're strategic. When you put your money to work instead of letting it slip through your fingers, you're building a fortress around your life. Because money, when controlled, multiplies. Every dollar you save and invest is a soldier working for you. Over time, those soldiers grow into an army that protects you, provides for you, and frees you. But when you waste money, you're killing those soldiers before they even fight. You're weakening your army and leaving yourself defenseless in a world that preys on the undisciplined. Think of money as a mirror. It reflects your habits, your discipline, your vision. If you are careless with it, you are careless with your life. If you are disciplined with it, you are disciplined with your destiny. Look around. Most people are broke, not because they don't have enough opportunities, but because they lack control. They can't resist impulses. They can't delay gratification. They can't manage their emotions when they have a little extra in their pocket. So they stay stuck, paycheck to paycheck, while blaming the world. The truth is brutal. If you can't control your money, you'll always be controlled by someone who can. Control doesn't mean never spending. It means spending with purpose. It means asking yourself, does this purchase build me or break me? Does it take me closer to freedom or chain me deeper into slavery? Every time you touch money, you're making a choice about your future. A meal, a car, a trip, a habit. They all either empower or enslave you. When you master this awareness, you stop being a consumer and start being a creator. You stop chasing things that vanish and stop building assets that last. The disciplines see money differently. They don't waste it on showing off, they use it to grow. They don't buy liabilities, they acquire assets. They don't live for today, they build for tomorrow. And because of this, they reach a point where money works harder for them than they ever work for it. That's the real goal, not endless grinding, but financial freedom born from discipline. Imagine waking up one day knowing your bills are paid, your family is secure, and your choices are your own. That's what controlled money gives you. But waste is a disease. Waste is the reason millions remain poor even when they earn well. Waste is the reason people borrow to maintain appearances, then drown in debt. Waste is the reason families collapse under financial stress. Waste is not just losing money, it's losing time, losing peace, losing opportunities. Waste builds invisible chains, and those chains are heavier than any prison bars. Because when you owe, you are not free. When you live above your means, you are trapped. And when you refuse discipline, you are already defeated. Understand this. Money is a test, not a gift. How you handle a little decides if you deserve a lot. If you cannot manage $100, 0 cents, you will not manage $10,000, 0 cents. If you cannot multiply small amounts, you will not multiply large ones. Life rewards the disciplined, not the reckless. Control your money at every stage, and you will rise. Lose control, and you will fall, no matter how much you once had. So discipline yourself, build budgets, track your spending, cut what is useless. Save before you spend. Invest before you enjoy. Learn to love the process of growth more than the illusion of wealth. You don't need to show the world you have money. You need to show yourself you have control, because true wealth isn't about how much you flash. It's about how long you last. The chains of waste are heavy, but the discipline of control is light. Every time you deny a useless expense, you loosen a chain. Every time you save and invest, you forge freedom. Every disciplined choice stacks bricks into a fortress around your life, and when the storms come, and they always come, that fortress will protect you. The world belongs to the disciplined. The free belong to those who control. Waste belongs to the weak, but wealth belongs to those who master themselves. Control your money and you will never beg, never borrow, never bow. Control your money and you will own your life. Control your mind, because if you do not own your thoughts, the world will. Everything begins in the mind. Your victories, your failures, your habits, your future. The strongest prison is not made of steel, it is made of thoughts, and most people live locked inside cages they built themselves. They are slaves to fear, slaves to doubt, slaves to distraction. The enemy does not need to defeat them physically, it only needs to control their thinking. If you allow the world to own your mind, you will chase illusions, drown in confusion, and live a life that never belonged to you in the first place. Every advertisement, every trend, every voice screaming online is designed to control what you think, what you value, and what you pursue. Most people are puppets, dancing to strings they don't even see. They believe what the crowd believes, they chase what the crowd chases, and they suffer the same mediocrity the crowd suffers. The rare few who rise are the ones who seize control of their mind. They filter what enters, they decide what to believe, and they choose what to focus on. That choice is what separates the free from the enslaved. Your thoughts create your reality. If your mind is filled with weakness, you will live weak. If your mind is filled with strength, you will live strong. Doubt poisons actions before they even begin. Fear paralyzes opportunity before it arrives. Negativity clouds your vision so you can't see doors opening right in front of you. But when you own your thoughts, when you discipline your mind to reject weakness, reject doubt, reject distraction, you unlock a power that nothing outside of you can stop. Controlling your mind is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about taking command even when things are broken. It's about telling yourself, I will win, even when the world is shouting you will lose. It's about programming your own brain before society programs it for you. Because make no mistake, if you don't take responsibility for what lives in your head, someone else will fill it with garbage, and that garbage will decide your life. Look around at the people who fail. It's not always because they lack talent or opportunity. It's because their mind betrays them. They think small, so they live small. They think weak, so they act weak. They think they cannot, so they never even try. That's the tragedy of an uncontrolled mind. It convinces you to settle for less than you deserve. On the other hand, the people who win in life aren't always the most gifted or the luckiest. They are simply the ones who guard their mind like a fortress. They allow in only what strengthens them. They feed their brain discipline, positivity, knowledge, and vision. They starve it of fear, doubt, and negativity. And as a result, their mind becomes a weapon sharper than any blade. If you want control of your life, start by controlling what you think about when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Your first thoughts in the morning set the tone for your day, and your last thoughts at night set the tone for your future. If you wake up already defeated, already complaining, already fearing, you will live that reality. But if you wake up focused, grateful, and determined, you will bend reality to your will. Control your mind in the morning and you control your day. Control your mind at night and you control your destiny. Training your mind is like training your body. It requires discipline and repetition. You cannot let it wander aimlessly. You must exercise it with focus. Read what builds you, listen to what strengthens you, practice silence to reset it, push yourself to think bigger, bolder, clearer. Most people let their minds sit idle, and idle minds rot. But a mind under discipline sharpens, expands, and grows stronger each day. The world will test your mind with distractions. Social media, gossip, entertainment, endless noise. These are weapons designed to steal your attention. If your attention is stolen, your future is stolen. Control means choosing where your focus goes and refusing to waste it on what does not serve you. Attention is currency, and the richest people are those who invest it wisely. Do not waste yours on meaningless arguments, endless scrolling, or cheap pleasures. I know this argument is very directed toward growth, creation, and purpose, and your life will transform. Understand this. The battle for your mind is the greatest battle you will ever fight. If you win it, no one can stop you. If you lose it, no one can save you. Thoughts are seeds, and your mind is soil. If you plant weakness, you harvest failure. If you plant strength, you harvest greatness. Every day, you are planting something. The question is, are you planting what you chose or what the world shoved into you? So control your mind. Guard it like treasure. Feed it discipline, knowledge, and vision. Reject negativity, fear, and weakness. When doubt enters, crush it. When fear whispers, silence it. When distraction tempts you, ignore it. Be the master of your own thoughts, and you will be the master of your own life. Because the mind is the command center, and whoever controls it controls everything. Own your thoughts, or be owned by the world. That is the truth. And so it all comes down to this: control. The world will tell you to chase everything outside of yourself, but the real battle has always been inside. Control your mouth, because words can build your empire or burn it to the ground. Control your mood, because emotions are weapons. You can either use them or let them use you. Control your money, because discipline today is freedom tomorrow, while waste today is slavery forever. And above all, control your mind, because if you don't own your thoughts, the world will gladly own them for you. Life will never hand you peace, wealth, or power. You must seize it, and the only way to seize it is by mastering yourself. Most people live as victims of impulse, trapped in cycles of regret, because they refuse control. But not you. You will rise. You will discipline your tongue, your emotions, your spending, and your thinking. You will become a fortress in a world full of weakness. You will build a life that is not dictated by chance or circumstance, but by choice. And when the storms come, and they will, you will not bend, you will not break, you will stand unshaken because you are in control.